Ay, ay, ay.
Welcome to Infinity Watch. For a few years now, we've been tracking the location of all the Infinity Stones in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, detailing what they are and who has possession of them. The Infinity Stones, also known as Infinity Gems or Soul Stones in the comic books, are the basis of the story for the next two Avengers films, with Avengers Infinity War hitting theaters in May of 2018 and the follow-up coming in May 2019. These films will be the culmination of a 10-year journey since Iron Man 1 of the MCU, with many subplots being tied up and likely the end of some characters in the series. Today we will look back at where the gems are that we know of, and where we might find some of the gems that are currently unaccounted for.
Tells us one thing, history another. But every now and then we find something that belongs to both.
The first time we see the Tesseract in the MCU is in a mid-credit scene of the first Thor movie. Dr. Selvig is introduced to the Tesseract by Nick Fury, who wants him to work on a project that will bring sustainable energy to the world. The next MCU film, Captain America: The First Avenger, sees the Tesseract as the MacGuffin of the film, with the Red Skull wanting to use its power to dominate the world. Captain America defeats the Red Skull, who was killed, or some believe he simply transported, after coming into direct contact with the object. The stone is lost in the ocean, where Howard Stark finds it while looking for signs of his friend Steve Rogers. The Tesseract shows up again in the first Avengers movie, where Loki has been sent by a mysterious master to retrieve it from Earth. In exchange, Loki gets the Chitauri army in order to invade Earth himself. The Avengers assemble for the first time and prevent Loki from ruling the Earth, and close the space portal that Loki opened over New York.
Right. Army.
The Tesseract is taken back to Asgard by Thor and isn't seen again until Thor Ragnarok, where Loki retrieves it from Odin's vault before the demon Surtur obliterates Asgard. As of now, the stone is in Loki's possession once again, as the Asgardians travel through space to find a new home. They are, however, confronted by a ship believed to belong to Thanos at the end of the film, and Loki is seen in promotional material for Avengers Infinity War, apparently handing the Tesseract over to someone, most likely the Mad Titan. The Tesseract is known as the Space Stone. It can manipulate the fabric of space and open portals to other places in the universe. Perhaps the most widely known of the Infinity Stones by casual audiences, it also served as a nod to comic book fans that the greater stories from Marvel's comic books were going to be used in the films.
Well, this could be. It's not a human thing. I mean, look at this. They're like neurons
While Loki invaded Earth, he was given a staff that had a gem embedded at the end of it. In Avengers, Loki used this gem to change the hearts of men and women, turning them to his side. What was actually happening was a change in their minds, making them slaves and controlling them to his whim, something Hawkeye did not want repeated in the second Avengers film.
I've done the whole mind control thing. Not a fan.
The staff was revealed at the end of Captain America: The Winter Soldier as being in control of Hydra. They were using it to unlock the potential of test subjects. The only two test subjects to survive those experiments were Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, who gained miracles or abilities from their exposure to the gem. In Avengers Age of Ultron, Tony Stark found the staff from Loki in a base of Von Strucker. After the Avengers took out that last Hydra base, Stark took the staff back to Avengers Tower, where he and Bruce Banner began working on artificial intelligence after seeing that the stone had patterns more like a mind than a computer program. The unfortunate result of this was the birth of Ultron. During the movie, it is revealed that the Mind Gem was the stone inside Loki's staff. Ultron removes the stone from its outer casing and embeds it into a body made of vibranium, which he intends to use as his final form. The Avengers manage to steal the body and take it back to Avengers Towers once again. Although Stark's first attempt resulted in Ultron, he was confident, for whatever reason, that a second attempt would work if he integrated his personal assistant Jarvis into the shell. The rest of the Avengers didn't quite agree, and a mini fight started between the heroes, which ended when Thor gave the vibranium body a dose of power it needed to awaken. With the Mind Stone in its forehead, the new entity emerged and became known as Vision, a sentient intelligence that fought on the side of life over death.
I've had a vision. A whirlpool that sucks in all hope of life, and at its center is that.
What, the gem?
It's the Mind Stone. It's one of the 6 Infinity Stones, the greatest power in the universe, unparalleled in its destructive capability.
Vision remained a member of the Avengers and has since been puzzled by his own existence and what the Mind Stone actually is. Having the gem in his forehead makes him a powerful ally on the side of the Avengers, but fans have also known that it makes him a massive target for Thanos.
While the other relics often appear as stones, the ether is fluid and ever-changing. It changes matter into dark matter.
The second Thor movie, known as The Dark World, was a self-contained story that centered around the ether. Odin described it as an ancient force of unspeakable power that turns matter into dark matter. Unlike the other Infinity Stones, it appears as a mercury-like fluid that Jane Foster came into contact with through a portal. The ether attached itself to her, which made her the target of Malekith, a dark elf who desired to possess the ether himself to bring about total darkness to the 9 realms during the Convergence. Malekith is defeated by Thor, and the ether is returned to the Asgardians. However, they do not think that it is wise to keep more than one Infinity Gem in the same place at the same time. Instead, they give it to the Collector for safekeeping. However, his intentions don't appear to be all that noble. In Guardians of the Galaxy, the Collector's Museum is destroyed when he tries to obtain another Infinity Stone, leaving the whereabouts of the ether up in the air. More on that later.
Bring you the orb, and you will destroy Xandar for me. However, now that I know it contains an Infinity Stone, I wonder what use I have for you.
Speaking of the Guardians of the Galaxy, their debut film was centered around another Infinity Stone. This time it was the Power Stone, which was contained within the orb. Peter Quill stole the orb at the beginning of the film, but Thanos, who made a rare extended appearance in this film, had enlisted Ronan the Accuser to bring the orb in exchange for the destruction of Xandar. Ronan is a Kree, a race that anybody watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season is familiar with, but they also had a long-standing conflict with the people of Xandar and the Nova Corps. Once Ronan obtained the orb, he realized it had an Infinity Stone in it and changed the terms of his deal with Thanos. Ronan intended to destroy Xandar himself now and then go after Thanos. His attempt to rule was short-lived, as the newly formed Guardians of the Galaxy were able to defeat him by using their combined strength, and the fact that Peter Quill is more than human, to focus the energy of the Power Stone and wipe out Ronan. As of right now, the Power Stone is in a vault on Xandar under the guard of the Nova Corps.
This is a relic. Some magic is too powerful to sustain, so we imbue objects with it, allowing them to take the strain we cannot.
Doctor Strange was another turn in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which up until that point dealt with technology, space, superhero serums, and aliens. Now we were dipping into the supernatural realm of Marvel with the magic and multiverses introduced in this movie. Stephen Strange was a doctor who suffered irreparable damage to his hands after a car accident and ultimately found his way to Kamar-Taj and the Ancient One. It was here that he studied the mystic arts, and during his research he came across the Eye of Agamotto. This item contained the Time Stone, which allows the user to manipulate time in various ways. It served as a great weapon for Strange, who had to defend the world from Dormammu, a demon from the Dark Dimension who wanted to consume the Earth realm.
From your dimension, I brought a little power from mine. This is time. Endless loop time.
As of now, the Time Stone remains in Kamar-Taj, under the guard of Doctor Strange and Wong, thus making them also targets for the Mad Titan. In summary, the Tesseract is with Loki on an Asgardian spaceship, the Mind Gem is in possession of Vision, the Power Stone is in a vault on Xandar, the Eye of Agamotto is at Hermitage. Now, the Ether is in question still, because for the last few years we've reported it as being with the Collector with a big question mark. However, leaked footage of the upcoming Avengers Infinity War movie shows that Thanos confronts the Collector about the gem. Literally under Thanos' foot, the Collector claims that he doesn't know where the Ether is because he sold it. So in all honesty, no one has any idea of where the Ether is as of this recording. There's also, of course, the Soul Stone, which last year was rumored to possibly be in Thor Ragnarok, The Amazing Spider-Man, or even in this year's Black Panther film. As of now, we haven't seen the Soul Stone officially, or have we? So the letter theory has been around for some time. It is a theory that the letters of Thanos' name are clues as to where the stones have been. T is for Tesseract, H is yet unknown, A was for Ether, N was for the necklace, the Eye of Agamotto, O was for the orb, the Power Stone, and S was for Scepter or Sentient, now being in Vision. This led to the H theories, which ranged from H standing for Heimdall, which turned out not to be the case, H standing for him, which was a reference to Adam Warlock, who is confirmed not to be in any of the Infinity War movies, more on that later, but he will be in Guardians 3 after the Infinity War. And H has also been rumored to stand for Hela, who was the main villain in Thor Ragnarok. As of now, none of those theories have come true. However, Black Panther may have revealed a possible new location for the Soul Gem. In the film, T'Challa and Warmonger used a heart-shaped herb to travel into the spirit dimension, where they visit their ancestors. Essentially, they are traveling to a realm where the souls of their ancestors reside. Given that we know a giant battle takes place in Wakanda during Infinity War, it makes one wonder why Thanos would invade the land. The logical answer, the Soul Stone is somewhere in Wakanda and is somehow tied to the ability of the Black Panthers to talk to their ancestors. However, this is not confirmed and is just a fan theory. There is a possibility that a year from now, we'll still be making this video because the Soul Stone might not even show up in Infinity War, only time will tell. Ever since Thanos' cameo at the end of the first Avengers movie, comic book fans alerted the rest of the world to the story of the Infinity Stones. With the next two Avengers movies being based heavily on the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Quest, and Infinity War comic book events, we'll see variations of those stories represented in the films. But the question many casual fans have is, why is this so important, and why are all these comic book people going overboard about this movie? Why are you doing videos every year about these stones? Well, it's quite simple. Thanos possessing the Infinity Gauntlet with all 6 stones in it represents something we have never seen in a major blockbuster motion picture before. While past sci-fi fantasy villains like Darth Vader, Sauron from Lord of the Rings, Voldemort from Harry Potter, and so on have all been extremely powerful bad guys, none of them even scratched the surface of the power that Thanos will wield with the Infinity Gauntlet. Just on the surface, someone who possesses control of the Ether, the Tesseract, the Mind Stone, the Time Stone, and whatever the Soul Stone will wind up being, well, just look at what those things have done in the individual movies they were in. Imagine somebody with all of them. Add to that the Power Stone, which will amplify the 5 other stones once in the gauntlet, and you essentially have someone with literal god powers. He can control the 6 singularities of the universe, remove anything or anyone from existence. In fact, in the comic books, he eliminated half the life in the universe by just snapping his fingers, and untold other abilities. That is a terrifying enemy to go up against. Even the mightiest of the Avengers, like Hulk or Thor, would be zero threat to him. All Thanos would have to do is blink, and Thor could be sent across space into the heart of a star, or he could turn Hulk's muscles into jello, or make the Guardians into his servants with the Mind Gem. Why would he do this? In the comics, he was in love with Lady Death. His attempt to balance the galaxy came from the fact that more people were alive then than had ever died in the universe. And he attempted to balance this out by wiping out half the living, as stated before. This was again for Lady Death to please her. In the current trailer for Avengers Infinity War, Thanos does mention that he is trying to balance the universe.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
While many have suspected that Hela would be the stand-in for Lady Death in the Marvel movies, that is not 100% confirmed, as her character apparently died at the end of Thor Ragnarok, or did she? We don't know. Another question centers around two other movies that will take place between Avengers 3 and Avengers 4, that being Ant-Man and the Wasp and the other being Captain Marvel. From early trailers and synopsis, it appears that Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place before the events of Infinity War. Also, Captain Marvel has been reported to be set in the 90s. The general sense right now is that Marvel Studios is going to be jumping around with different eras in time and even dimensions. Evangeline Lilly is apparently not going to be in Avengers 3 as the Wasp, but is on the call sheet for Avengers 4, so there will be some way these films will tie it together in the overall storyline. But as of right now, that path is not clear. Marvel's going to be playing fast and loose with time over the next year from what we can tell. While many questions still exist, it is without a doubt that many will be answered, and new ones will come up once Avengers Infinity War debuts in May. Keep in mind that the second movie to wrap up this entire storyline will be coming out in May of 2019, and the subtitle for that film will not be officially revealed until after Avengers Infinity War is in theaters. This lets us believe that the subtitle to Avengers 4 is kind of a giveaway as to where everything is going. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned a bit about the Infinity Stones, their history in the movies, where the story might be going, and why the threat of Thanos has been so highly anticipated for 6 years now by fans. Whether or not we'll be back next year with another recap at this point is up in the air, but given the way the storyline is going, we think we might have to be doing another one of these videos this time next year. We will see. Until then, leave a comment down below with your theories. Have fun speculating, but above all, enjoy the experience, and know that Marvel Studios has created this wonderful storyline for us to speculate, enjoy, and watch. Until next year, possibly, we'll see you guys for more videos here on Offensive Movie Reviews. Have a good day.
Yeah.